everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Streaming Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where I take three streaming services and pick one previously released film off of each of them. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you have a nice full weekend to check out some movies, as this comes out every Friday. This week, I'm going to be focusing on Amazon Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and Max. And let's get started over on Amazon Prime Video for a classic Western, actually, which is a remake of a previous film that I've recommended on this show before, Seven Samurai from Akira Kurosawa. That is John Sturgis's The Magnificent Seven. And Sturgis takes the story of seven Ronin samurai who get hired by this town to protect them from bandits, and you take that into the wild, wild west of American cinema, and Sturgis creates something pretty darn special with the score from Elwood Bernstein, which is just absolutely iconic at this point, just brings this atmosphere to life of this wonderful, engaging, fun, and also action packed Western. And you have an all-star cast for sure, filling out this seven-person crew. You have the likes of Yul Brenner, who was quite the big name at the time as he brings his stoicism and his strength as their leader. Steve McQueen as the charismatic second. You have the likes of tough guy Charles Bronson, and you have some young up and comer like Horst Buchholz. You have Robert Vaughn, James Colburn, even, and Brad Dexter, who come together to create this dangerous crew of hired guns who come together to protect this town from a bandit played by Eli Wallach, who, coming off of, he certainly has had his experiences playing Mexican characters, and in terms of like the Dollars trilogy, and here he plays Calvera, this leader of the bandits who's terrorizing this town. Yes, children of my age, back in the 90s into the early 2000s, might know this as Bugs Life. There's plenty of films that have taken their roots in the Magnificent Seven for sure, and specifically Seven Samurai, which was the one that really started this story in the first place. But this all-star cast, energetic and fun and action-packed direction from Sturges, just a great story with the complexities of, like, can the townspeople really trust this crew of what might be perceived as ne'er-do-wells, these drifters and everything. And it's just such an engaging and enthralling experience. This is certainly leaner than Seven Samurai, which is a 3.5 hour epic. This 2 hour and 8 minute film is tight. It's thrilling. It has some good character work and really fleshes out this whole crew. And also, the cast is just insanely charismatic and talented, and just really bring a lot of dimensions here. Each of these characters has some kind of story going for them, and I think Sturgis is able to balance each of those storylines and really create a nice mosaic of interesting Western characters that fill out this film for sure. And if you want one of those pulpy, entertaining, fun, adventurous kind of westerns, the Magnificent Seven is certainly a great option there. Heading over to Paramount Plus to 1978, and that is Days of Heaven from writer director Terrence Malick, who has certainly made a career making some of the most gorgeous, beautiful, and awe inspiring films ever put to the silver screen. Nestor Amendros, who is the cinematographer, goes a long way in helping craft this absolutely gorgeous, striking film. And this is a fascinating, just 94-minute drama. A hot tempered farm laborer convinces the woman he loves to marry their rich but dying boss that they can have a claim to his fortune. This has deceit it has lies, it has lust and romance, and it balances a lot of different threads going on in this film. Like I said, this is an absolutely gorgeous and striking film that really captures so much of like what's possible expressing beauty on screen with film. And just this whole entire setting, like out in the fields, it just really captures this Americana. It captures this American Gothic kind of feel. And then there's this darkness underneath the surface of this story as Richard Gere's Bill and Brooke Adams Abby create this plan to usurp this farm out from under Sam Shepard's character. And this trio of actors really deliver satisfying performances that really bring out a lot in their characters and are able to craft such a compelling and engaging narrative. And there's twists and turns along the way. There are some evocative and impactful and poignant visuals throughout this film, all leading up to some climactic elements in the finale of this film that will be hard to forget after watching. It just burns this image in there. This is so striking with the costuming, the setting. It all really comes together in such an impactful and engaging way. Malik really showing he had a wonderful eye all the way back in the 70s when he first started making films. He is certainly a visionary of film today. And the likes of this and his early films like Badlands really capture that spirit and that potential and deliver something really impressive in this film. And it's a haunting experience is probably the best word to really describe the feeling that this creates in terms of the cinematic experience as you sit there. And make sure to watch it on a nice big screen with when you're streaming on Paramount Plus, because this is indeed a gorgeous film with some great scope like only Terrence Malick can capture. And last but not least, we're heading over to Max, and is 'tis the season as we are here on December 13th with this new episode. What I'm gonna hope to do is bring some of that wonderful Christmas and holiday cheer. And we're going to go back to 2003 with Elf. And Jon Favreau is such an interesting presence in cinema over the past 30 years as him and Vince Vaughn came up in films like Swingers and stuff like that. And then he transitioned into directing. And you have a film like this which obviously he went on to make Iron Man and The Jungle Book and The Lion King and these big films or films like Chef, very personal film for him. But here, this is such a charming, silly, and engaging family holiday film that just really works on so many levels. The biggest thing here, obviously, is Will Ferrell and his endless humor and charisma. If you're not a fan of Will Ferrell, you're probably not going to be a fan of Elf. But his just wide-eyed optimism and naivete just exudes in this film in such an effective way. And he is so charming and silly and wonderful to watch on screen. And you have great supporting character actors like Zoe Deschanel and James Caan as his father, but the likes of like Bob Newhart as Papa Elf and Ed Asner as Santa. There's so many great performances here and unexpected presences of like you have the likes of Peter Dinklage and Amy Sedaris and Andy Richter and Kyle Gass. You even have some fun, unexpected performances from like Leon Redbone as Leon the Snowman. But what's so fun is when you get to see how they bring that Rankin Bass style of like animation to bring the North Pole to life. And all those sequences are so much fun. The forced perspective with the elves and just the production design of all of that. And there's some real holiday cheer here and so much fun. And this is a sweet, endearing, and kind film. And sure, it has some of those moments where like you got that Will Ferrell kind of comedy that like seeps through a little bit. But overall, this is a very earnest and cheerful and authentic, fun holiday film that just brings cheer. And Buddy the Elf is such a fun character, and Will Ferrell just plays him so perfectly. And a lot of great, strong supporting turns as well from some veteran, especially television actors for sure. But, you know, I quote this on a regular basis, and I can't see a narwhal or hear about a narwhal without thinking about this movie. It has that kind of power, that staying power. And also there's plenty of memes from this too. But no, this was a wonderful vehicle for Favreau and for Farrell that just made such a fun and engaging time at the movies. And this is perfect for the holiday season. But those are my picks. So let's go back into summation here as we go back starting with on Amazon Prime Video 1960's The Magnificent Seven. Then we have Paramount Plus for 1978's Days of Heaven. And last but not least, and for the holiday season, 2003's Elf over on Max. But thank you for listening and make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your go to holiday film? Do you have a particular favorite Western as well? Let us know in the comments. And make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew Podcasting Network has so many great shows, and we're ever growing. Wonderful content from top to bottom. I listen to them all. Just check out my Spotify Wrapped. But whether it's movies or television or sports or physical media or comic books or music or just talking about life and everything there at the SPDM Crew. And if you like our logo, go check out HiFlyer Creative. They do some great work, and if you're in need, check them out. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Streaming Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.